The annual daycare cost per child is normally distributed with a mean of 8,000 and a standard deviation of 500. That means that our cost for daycare is distributed something like this, where 8,000 is right here in the middle, and our standard deviation is 500. We would like to find the percent of families that pay less than 8,300 annually. Well, 8,300 is going to be somewhere around here. If we want to know the percentage of families that pay less than 8,300, we need to know this area to the left of 8,300 in this normal distribution. The way to do this is with a z-score. We're going to find the z-score for 8,300, so that's our x. Our mean was given to us as 8,000, and our standard deviation was given as 500. That gives us a z-score of 0.6. So we have our z-score. Now to find the area that we're looking for, we need one of those tables. So I'm going to bring up the table from your homework that deals with positive z-scores. And I'm going to look up 0.6, which is right here. We're given a number 0.7257. Going back to our chart, that tells us that this area in here is 0.7257. In other words, that is 72.57% of the data. And that is the answer. So 72.57% of families pay less than $8,300 annually. Let's do the same thing, but with $7,500. $7,500 is somewhere over here in our table. We could probably figure this out using the empirical rule, but I'll just go ahead and calculate a z-score. 7,500 minus our mean divided by our standard deviation gives us a z-score of -1, which maybe we should have expected because 7,500 is one standard deviation below our mean of 8,000. Okay, that's our z-score, but to find our area, again, we need to look at a table. This time we're going to look at the table for negative z-scores, and we're just looking for -1. That looks like it's right here. The value I'm seeing is 0.1587. Back to the problem, that says that our area in here is 0.1587. Or in other words, 15.87% of families are paying less than $7,500 annually. Next question, what percentage of families are paying between $7,500 and $8,300? Well, I think that we actually have all the information that we need already. In the first part of this problem, we found that 72.57% of the data was below 8,300. In the second part of this problem, we found that 15.87% of the data was below 7,500. If we want to know how much data is in this region between these two z-scores, what we need to do is just subtract 72.57 minus 15.87. We're subtracting the pink area that we drew from the yellow area to get this red area, and that turns out to be 56.7% of our data. Our next question is what percentage of families pay more than $8,300 annually? Again, here was our normal curve. We learned from previous problems that 72.57% of our data falls below 8,300. So what percent does that leave above 8,300? Well, that red zone should be 100% minus the 72.57% of the data that's in the yellow zone. That is 27.43% of the data falling above $8,300. The final question on this problem asks, in a random sample of 300 families, how many pay more than $8,300 annually per day? Well, more than $8,300 annually is a percentage that we've already found. Actually, in the previous part D, we found that 27.43% of families pay more than $8,300 per year for childcare. So the question we really need to be asking is, what is 27.43% of those 300 families? Well, to do that, what we need to do is convert this percent to a decimal. That would be 0.2743. Of means multiply, and we're going to multiply by 300. That gives me 82.3 families. I'm just going to round that down to 82 out of 300 families. And okay, I think that does it for this problem. Let's do some more in the next video.